everybody. It was a sunny day. It's now a shitty looking day. First things first, ladies and gents, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to comment, like and subscribe. Where shall we begin today's video? Helmets. Now, oh dear lord, look at this geezer. I see some fucking stupid stuff in my time, but that is beyond a joke. But anyway, as you guys may or may not know, I work in the motorcycle industry, and I get people asking me about what's the best brand and what's this, what's that, what's the other in terms of helmets. Now, I'm not going to profess to know absolutely everything about every brand of helmet on the market, because I don't. But what I can tell you is from personal experience, and that personal experience is as follows. I've been running for 15 years. Now, in terms of brand, you know, it's all personal preference, if you ask me. Some people like, you know, wearing the same lid as their favourite racer, or a particular model of helmet because it just looks good, or they like a particular graphic. But a lot of people forget that it's designed to save your life should the worst happen. And what I mean by that is, if you were to have an accident. Now, believe it or not, I've been running for 15 years, and in that 15 years I've had probably 4, maybe 5 accidents, 1 or 2 of them being rather big. And the biggest accident that I've had actually happened in an area called Exhibition Road, which is up in the West End, well, South Kensington to be precise. And at the time I was wearing an ROLLIN'THUNDER helmet. Now, believe it or not, I would trust ROLLIN'THUNDER with my life. You know, it's not all, doesn't always fit everyone's head perfectly. It doesn't always look the greatest. It's sure as hell not designed to be the quietest. But it is, without a shadow of a doubt, in my honest, humble, personal opinion, one of the best helmet manufacturers going. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm going to probably get absolutely fucking slated for this, but there's people all over the world that would say, nah mate, Shoei's are better, nah Scorpion's are better, nah HJC's better. And I've got absolutely nothing against any of these other brands. Nothing at all. The only thing I will say is, not all of them fit as nice. Now, allow me to explain this. You know, there's people that have round heads, there are people that have oval heads, there are people that have long heads. And I don't mean long as in like their head is like from front to back like 4 feet long. What I'm referring to is the actual top to bottom, so from like forehead to chin. Some people will say, oh, this lid fits me better than this lid, and so on and so forth. But in my honest opinion, and this is coming from someone, like I said, that's had 4 or 5 rather large accidents, I would choose ROLLIN'THUNDER, because what they do is, and this is actually true, you can go on ROLLIN'THUNDER's website and actually look this up, or on some of the UK blurb that you get with particular models and so on. The ROLLIN'THUNDER shell shape, it's called the R75, I think it is, and this shape has been around for about, I don't know, 50 years or so, and they haven't changed the shape. What they have done instead is they've change the bits that go on top of the helmet, like for example the air vents and the ducts and the visor apertures and stuff like that. All those sort of things is what they've changed. Now obviously bear in mind, if you have the same helmet shape and the same helmet style for so long, it will become very, very stale. But in my opinion, Arai have managed to stay ahead of the curve on that one by quite literally changing their interior designs, the different materials and different types of padding and whatever else, which is always nice. That, as well as all fucking bell end, as well as making some of the newer graphics look really, really nice. Now I'm looking to get a new helmet soon, and it will be an Arai. Not because I'm an Arai fanboy, but I can say from personal experience that they work amazingly well. And I've only had one Arai in the last, what, 15, I've had one Arai ever. And in all fairness, if I could have that same lid again, I would. I really, honestly, genuinely would. And the lid I had was called the Quantum F. And I don't know if anyone remembers 15 years ago, there was a racer in World Superbikes called Noriyuki Haga. And I kid you not, the graphic that he had was absolutely epic, which is why I got it in the first place. But I digress. 15 years ago to now, the technology has moved on and on and on and on. Now you've got helmets using things like super fiber, stone fiber, carbon fiber, any sort of other fiber you can fucking lay your hands on, basically. So it's like, you know, it's the mind boggles. I kid you not, it's absolutely insane. It's like you got, again, this is more down to the actual, you know, the brands themselves. You've got Arai, family-run business, has been for like the last 40, 50 years, however long they've been running for. And with that, you know, they've got no one to answer to, they've got no overheads, no corporate businesses to worry about, no corporate sponsors or no conglomerates and no people they have to pay and stuff like that. And I kid you not, the way that Arai do things is absolutely epic. Little Japanese firm, started back in the 1940s or whatever it was, and I kid you not, they could not have done it better. They really couldn't have done what they've done better. I mean, even the other big names in Japanese helmet manufacturing, Shoei, honestly, I don't think they've done it as good. I'm not taking anything away from them, of course, because they're still a very, very good brand. I mean, I've actually worn their helmets. Like when I first bought my first moped 15 years ago, I actually had a Shoei helmet. Granted, it was a second-hand helmet, and looking back at it now, I would never ever have suggested to anyone to buy a second-hand helmet, but back then I didn't know any different, which is why I ended up doing what I did. But with the benefit of hindsight, I would not have bought a second-hand helmet, and I would urge people to not buy second-hand helmets anywhere. I don't care what you're doing or where you're from. I don't care if you're buying it off a mate or buying it off a family member. Just fucking don't. Just don't. You buy a second-hand helmet, you don't know where it's been dropped, you don't know where it's been crashed in. You know, it might look absolutely perfect on the outside, but you know, the bit that's actually going to save your life, the EPS liner, might have internal damage, might be split, might be cracked, might be just, you know, degrading because it's been sat in a box for 15 years. Do you know what I mean? You can never be 100% sure, which is why I would always suggest go to a shop, try them on, get the right size for you. Don't buy second hand and then wonder why it doesn't fit, because you've only got yourself to blame after that. But anyway, I digress. Going back to the actual brand side of things. Now, if I can find some pictures, I'll put them up of the different variations in terms of shell shape. Like I said, RI use a very much an oval shape, which is basically the shape of the human skull. And their ethos behind that is it's designed to be stronger. It's an egg shape basically, and the egg shape is the strongest shape in nature. So with that, there's no one solid point. Like, it's like a circle. It has no beginning, it has no end. Therefore, in RI's eyes, having that setup or that shape allows things to glance off it. So say for example, you know, you have a low side at 30 miles an hour and you're sliding down the road on your arse. If you have the unfortunate event of hitting your head at the same time, instead of it digging in and possibly causing you to, you know, get neck injuries, shoulder injuries, whatever, it actually reduces it quite significantly. That doesn't mean to say that eventually you won't, if you're sliding long enough, you won't get an injury, because, you know, it can happen. It can happen, and it does happen. You know, I know someone who had a friend who unfortunately lost his life by being hit by a van. And it wasn't even a full-on smash, it was like a glancing blow by all accounts. But yeah, that's a video for another day. The fact of the matter is that you could be, you know, you could have a one-piece suit on, you could have an airbag on, you could be wearing the, you know, the most highest spec helmet in the world, you could be wearing the best gloves, the best boots, whatever else. But if you are that unfortunate and you hit something hard enough, you ain't got a fucking hope in hell, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, enough of the doom and gloom. As I was saying, different brands. So we've covered RI, we've covered Shoei. What else? Another one of my favourite brands is HJC. Now I don't know if anyone's actually watched any of the Marvel movies or anything like that, but HJC actually have done a partnership with Marvel, I think it is. I assume it's Marvel, considering Marvel Studios, etc. And they've got things like Black Panther, what else have they got? Captain America, Spider-Man, Venom. I think they've even got a Batman one now. And I kid you not, some of these graphics are fucking epic. I mean, for what they're worth, I mean, HJC aren't quite up there in my honest opinion as RI, but they are still very, very good. I mean, I'm wearing an HJC now, which I've had for about 3 years now, I think it is. Yeah, about 3 years I've had it. And I love it. It's relatively quiet. It's not all that heavy, if I'm honest. I like the fact that it's got good range of movement. Well, I say good range of movement in the fact that it doesn't move around too much on my head. I mean, bearing in mind, I'm normally a medium and this is a medium, and this fits really true to size. It's like with RIs as well. If they say that they're going to be a medium and it fits a 57, 58 centimetre circumference head, they mean it and it works. But again, it's all down to personal preference. I love my lid. I love Arrow's lids. Some of the graphics are absolutely amazing. Some of them are pretty, you know, shit. But again, it's personal preference at the end of the day. You know, you can't be expected to have everything. Do you know what I mean? For the sake of a colour, I think I could survive that. But like I said, what I'll do is I will put up a picture of my soon-to-be lid, which is the RX-7V Maze. Oh look, it's a nuffy. Wow, that thing's massive. I want one. But anyway, I digress. This is a helmet video, not a dog video. If I wanted to do a dog video, I'd talk about my sister-in-law. Ooh, I'm going straight to hell for that comment. But you know what, I don't care. But yeah. I would honestly say that if you get a chance to try on an Arrow, do it. You will not regret it. Granted, yes, they are expensive. Yes, there is more than enough models to choose from. But I will say this, hand on heart, without a shadow of a doubt. If you wear one and you have an accident, you will not regret it. That doesn't mean to say that you know, you should just go out your way and fucking have an accident for the sake of proving a point. It's like, I cannot speak highly enough of Arrow. You know, a lot of people that come into my work that have crashed in Arrows live to tell the tale. I have crashed in an Arrow and lived to tell the tale. What more can I say? But you know, everyone has their own opinions. And don't get me wrong, guys, I have absolutely no problem with people having opinions, but don't force it on someone else. You know, I'm not trying to force my opinion on anyone else. It's just my, you know, my objective opinion at the end of the day. But it's a case of, you know, where do you start? At the end of the day, the only place you can start is by trying them on. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not easy trying lids on. It's not easy picking the right lid for you, because at the end of the day you've got to make sure, first of all, it fits you right. Second of all, it has all the necessary features that you want from a lid. So things like, some people find Bluetooth capability a big thing. Some people find noise cancelling a big thing. Some people find, you know, has it got a polycarbonate shell? Is it made of carbon fibre? Is it made of fiberglass? That's a big thing to some people. I'm not going to lie, none of that stuff makes any difference to me. If the lid works, I'll wear it. If it's comfortable, I'll wear it. If it does everything I want it to do, then I'll wear it. Do you know what I mean? If it does everything that it says on the tin, then you've got no problems. If it wears like a piece of shit and it handles like a piece of shit, if it wears like a piece of shit and it makes everything around you sound like shit, then you've got yourself a bit of a problem. But anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you on the subject, and we shall continue this on a future video, because hopefully with any luck I'm going to have my new lid by the time in the next couple of weeks. So we shall continue this then. So for now, I'm going to say adios.